Hello. I'm going to briefly run through how the Addiction Freedom Program works, just to give you an idea. So it's based on new research that we have now on how the brain works. So the program has that as its focus, and so it retrains the brain of the recovering addict through the use of a combination of powerfully effective processes like hypnotherapy, NLP, EFT, which is emotional freedom technique. It's a tapping thing. It's very simple and powerful. Future visualization, and it's looking out to the future, and clearing the past timeline. That's a brief overview of how it works and the processes used. So now we'll just go on to look at how hypnotherapy can be helpful. Hypnotherapy is one of the most gentle processes, and it's very powerful. Hypnotherapy is a gentle but powerful process, and it creates deep and lasting change. It, along with NLP, which is the mouthful of neural, which is the brain, linguistic, which we talk, and the programming, which is how we program ourselves through how we speak to ourselves, really. So it, along with NLP, we will create new beliefs based on your new values, and so create a compelling future for you. This is powerful and literally rewires your brain, creating new neural pathways and closing down the old entrenched pathways. It's kind of like, if you're going along, I live here in the west of Ireland in Achill, and there's a lot of pathways off the beaten path, so to speak. So it's really about the pathways that we've been familiar in using all along, which would be like the main roads, so to speak. We're used to them, we can drive them without even thinking, or we can walk them. But if we step off those roads, we have to create new pathways. So that's what we're going to do in your brain through the use of very simple techniques. We're going to leave the familiar, the one that automatically we go, because we're going to bring in new behaviours, new beliefs, new actions, and that's going to lead you in a different direction, which will be quite powerful. So here's what we look at. We look at the beliefs that we carry, the cause of self-sabotage, get to know our triggers, get to know our inner truth, powerful, our patterns of denial, our patterns of resistance, and look at our commitment to strengthen that, our choice and freedoms, and forgiveness, as in mainly self-forgiveness. Look at the timeline of looking at our past, coming into the here and now, seeing how that affects us, looking at the future we want, out into the future to see what it is we want to create. And from where we stand now with the information we have, we can create that future. So we're going to look at identity, because unfortunately, identity, it's a strong one. I don't mean unfortunately that it's a strong one, it's a strong one. So the identity you have, it's important that it's one that you want and one that really describes you. But the unfortunate bit is when somebody has been drinking a while or taking drugs or behaving in a certain way for a while, that person tends to get labelled. We all probably have labels on us. Other people put the labels on to match our behaviour, so to speak. But in the case of someone who's addicted, that label can be really heavy and, yeah, just too heavy and too damning. And while up here we might believe we're not that label of, I'm not an addict, emotionally it sticks because there's so much hurt, so much evidence even to ourselves. But it's not the truth of who you are. It's anything but. So that's what we'll be looking at. And spiritual growth and personal development, which is the bedrock, the foundation that you're going to stand on, that can't be taken away from you, ever. So that's what we're going to be looking at. Okay. Okay, so dehypnotizing the old AA model. What I mean by that is, basically we've been hypnotized into the old model of AA, which is based on seeing yourself mainly as powerless, seeing the addict as powerless, and seeing the person as to blame, and that the person will be an addict all their lives, you know, which is pretty heavy if you think about it. So we have to pull them out, because they might have been the truth in the past when we didn't have this information, but it's no longer the truth. We know so much more. So what we're going to be doing here is going to have a look at the old model. And this old model has been the model and been ingrained in our culture for over 80 years now. And it was, as we said, good in its day, definitely was. But we now have more knowledge about how the mind works. We now know that beliefs have power, that we are creating our lives based on our beliefs. If you believe you can, if you believe you can or you can't, you're right. And that's a quote from Henry Ford. It's just slipped in there. You have a belief, and then everything else follows that. So your belief is kind of nearly like a magic thing that goes out ahead of you. It's like you roll out the carpet of your belief and you step into it. And this is powerful information. So the main cornerstones of AA beliefs are: you are powerless, you are guilty, and you are an addict. And given that we now know that beliefs form our identity and we act out of our identity, if you believe you are an addict, then you will identify with that by acting like an addict and behaving like an addict. Just like in the last slide there we looked at, if I believe I can or I can't. If you believe you can or you can't, you're right. So whichever of those beliefs you choose, your life follows. So in this case, it's if you believe you're an addict or not. So if you believe you're an addict, then you will identify with that by acting like an addict and behaving like an addict. And just imagine if you believe you're not an addict, if you drop that belief, then you will no longer identify with being an addict. You will no longer act like an addict, and you will no longer behave like an addict. So, just to really get that across, identity is the most powerful form of a belief. Form that a belief can take, sorry. So it's a good news program because you are no longer an addict. And as I said maybe earlier, I think I said, you know, we may believe that intellectually, we kind of know, well, yeah, I'm not an addict. But deep down, we're carrying that belief. So this program will help you to know that you are no longer an addict. You will safely and confidently put your old identity and addiction into the past. Well, into the past. You will create and step into new empowering and compelling beliefs. You will have those beliefs. You do have them, you just haven't allowed them to come up. Beliefs that will reinvent and reset you and your life to a whole new way of being and living. You literally won't know yourself. You will fall in love with you and your life. Okay. Yes, there's work to be done. But you are worth it. The life you are living now is a torment and has been. But what's lovely is you will create a life that will resemble a life of luxury that you can't even imagine now. You deserve the best life possible. You're worth it. Are you ready to go for it once and for all? I hope so. Because you are worth it. And it doesn't have to be what it has been in the past. Standing on something totally new, on the verge of something totally new, and that idea of reset, it is possible to reset your whole life. Certainly the aspects that you've decided to reset. Okay, because the beliefs in this program that you will absorb are: you are strong, you are healthy, you are in control for the most part, you are powerful, and you are worthy. So we're going to look at those aspects of you, and we're going to really pull out and bring out the strength, your inner strength, to show you how strong you are, as against in the past. You had all the evidence to show you how weak you are. But you're going to find the evidence that shows you how strong you are. You're going to know what it's like to be healthy. And you're going to know what it's like to make decisions that are within your control. And that's a lot more than you've been doing up to now. You're going to know how powerful you are. And you're going to know how worthy you are to live this. So just feel that in your body. Just feel it. Because that's only a glimpse of the feeling that you can have as part of who you are. So, another way of looking at this program is that it's a clean slate program. And just to mention that it's a program, this program is a relapse prevention program. So it's really for people who have made a few attempts to move away from addiction, but unfortunately keep falling back a bit, even though they might make progress for a while. So this program looks at that aspect where you get so far and then kicks in and you're right back where you started almost. So it's not a detox program. Detox program, you need to have some medical care alongside it. And it is not appropriate so for somebody who is currently using drugs or alcohol. Okay, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, please get in touch and I would be glad to answer them for you if I can. So I really hope that you're ready for this, because it is a powerful program. and you're worth it. Why not have it? Okay, I look forward to you being in touch and hopefully working with you on this. Okay, thank you. Bye.